You ever just be lying in bed, completely fine, and then your brain, it just goes, hey, quick question. Remember that thing you said in 2016 with slightly wrong tone? Yeah, that's not thinking, my friend, that's harassment. And your brain does it for free, without overtime pay, without any sort of contract. It's just absolute pure chaos. And the worst part is you don't even choose the thought, it just like arrives in your mind, like a delivery you didn't even order, that still somehow expects a signature. Now, let's get something straight. Your brain is not here to make you happy, and it never was. It's here to keep you alive, which is why it treats a delayed reply, a slightly weird look, or someone typing, we need to talk, like they are all different stages of national emergency. And you know what's funny? It's not even wrong, because 200,000 years ago, that was the system. There was no text, there was no context, just, a little rustle in the bush, and that was possible death. And your ancestors who said, it's probably nothing, are not here to give feedback today, okay? So, what happened is you inherited the anxious ones. Congratulations, you are now the upgraded version of someone who used to panic at leaves. And the annoying thing is, your brain still thinks it's there, still thinks social rejection is basically exile. So now when someone replies, okay, instead of okay, smiley face, you're not just reading a message, you're actually decoding a potential collapse of reality. And you don't even notice it happening, it just feels like thinking. But it's actually your brain doing simulations like scenario A, they hate me. Scenario B, they are busy. Scenario C, I must move to a new country and change my name. All based on like one full stop. The good news is, psychologists have a name for this loop. They call it rumination, which sounds peaceful, like meditation, except it's not. It's your brain rewatching the same embarrassing clip of yourself, but with new commentary every time. Okay? It's the regret edition. And the brain insists it's useful because it goes, if I think about it one more time, I will solve it. By the way, you won't. You've already thought about it like 47 times. Nothing new has appeared. It's still the same moment. It's still awkward. And it's still not evolving into wisdom either. And I know what you're doing right now. You're checking your own mind like, do I do that? Yeah. But don't worry. Everyone who doesn't overthink just says no immediately and moves on with their life. You are still here. So, yeah, you're in the system. And to be honest, you're not even bad at thinking. And that's the problem. You're good at it. Way too good. It's like you give a microscope to someone who just wants to look at a wall. Now, everything has texture and meaning and possibly emotional collapse. And there's something else going on too. Your brain has a negativity bias, which means it likes to think about bad things over good things. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's protective. So you can have a whole day where nothing goes wrong, people are fine, life is stable, and your brain goes, okay, but remember that 0.3 second silence in that conversation earlier? And suddenly you are investigating your entire personality. One weird comment sticks, 10 compliments disappear. And that's not personal, that's just how memory is weighted. Your brain is basically a journalist that only reports disasters, even minor ones, especially minor ones. But the thing nobody really admits is that thinking too much feels productive. And that's the trick. It feels like you're working something out, but you're just circling it. Like pacing around a room, thinking, if I walk around this thought enough times, it will unlock. Bro, it won't. It's not a puzzle, it's just a feeling wearing a costume. And uncertainty, your brain hates it, absolutely refuses it. So instead of sitting with, I don't know, it generates 10 fake answers, most of them slightly dramatic, and a lot of them are just unnecessary. Because the people who overthink aren't usually careless thinkers, they're actually the opposite. They notice details, they replay conversations accurately, they pick up tone shifts others ignore. So it's high resolution awareness. But the downside of this is you also see things you were never meant to zoom in on. Most people just blur it out and move on. You, you don't. You open it, you enhance it, you analyze it. Then you wonder why it feels intense. So, overthinking isn't really a flaw, it's more like an ancient system running modern problems at too high sensitivity, like a smoke alarm that reacts to toast, but also to emotional ambiguity and slightly delayed replies. But the thing is, even after knowing all this, your brain, yes, your brain, will still do it tonight. It will still replay something. It will still simulate scenarios that will never happen. Still try to figure it out. And it's not because you're broken or anything. It's just that that's what thinking systems do when they care too much. So yeah, don't think too much. You just think in 4K. And unfortunately, your brain never learned how to turn the quality down. And if you're still thinking about this later, replaying parts, analyzing whether it applied to you, don't worry. That's just your brain doing the exact thing we just talked about, which is honestly very impressive, but in a deeply unnecessary way.